your brain, stop memory loss, brain fog, stress, addictions, etc. So you're going to get a lot of information from our call today, or whether you're watching us live today. But again, it's Health Knowledge Saturday, guys. So we keep hype on 0 and health on 100. If y'all haven't gotten your snacks and your drinks, make sure you get your snacks and your drinks, because you don't want to have to stop in the middle of getting this health knowledge in order to get your snacks or your drinks, right? Make sure you have your notebooks to take notes, paper, whatever, and something to write with, right? Something to write with and your notes, or you can take notes on your computer. I do it on my computer most of the time, but sometimes I do take notes. On here I have tons of notes in here from the health knowledge that we get. This is how I have learned so much, you guys. It is very important for you to do the research and get your health knowledge. And again, we keep health on what? We keep health on 100 and hype on what? 0. So again, if you can reach out and you can share this with someone, get them on here, because we're fixing to get started. So we're getting ready to go into the conference call. So again, I hope that you got your pens, your papers, you got your snacks, your drinks, and if you have not subscribed, like, and hit that bell, do that if you're watching on Success on Stephanie or Health the Web Show with Stephanie. And we're getting ready to go live. Again, today's topic is how to reboot your brain to stop memory loss, brain fog, stress, addictions, etc. So here we go, guys.
Reach the MoreMito conference line. The call will begin in a moment.
The conference is in presentation mode.
Your line is muted.
This call is being recorded.
Various health topics that are important to you. In recent weeks, we talked about many things that had to do with your immune system. We recently talked about blood pressure and blood sugar. We talked about how to fix your teeth and make them fill their own cavities and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened. But this week we're talking about how to reboot your brain and stop things like brain fog, autism, grief. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that and more. But before we do, let me introduce you to us, especially if you're new. If you haven't been on very many of these calls or at all, by now you might know that we're a nutraceutical company and that we're noted for making some profoundly effective products for people and their pets. There's a very good reason for that. It's because of some technology that our scientist, Dr. Bevan Elliott, who's been my partner since 2015, what he's created. I think he's pioneering a new way to make all of us healthier. And it's in a very different way from the way everybody else seems to approach wellness. What he wants to do is increase the amount of energy that your cells produce. Why does he want to do that? Because everything takes energy, and our bodies are no exception. For example, if I go in your house, as a good analogy, and I start turning down that current, your lights will start to jam, your appliances will start to malfunction, and ultimately, if I keep doing it, they're going to stop working altogether. Well, that's kind of the way our bodies are when we go through life. We start out with a lot of what's called mitochondria. That's that component in your cells that produces the energy that your body runs on. How important is that? Well, let's put it this way. If all of it were to stop working right now, here's what would happen to you. Your heart would stop working. Your brain would stop working. Everything would stop working, and you would die.
You just drop dead.
Now, what we want to do is grow that back so that doesn't happen so soon. All right? To do that, he had to create a new technology. It's called XDS that causes all those ingredients that you see on our ingredient list to not just get in your bloodstream, but all the way into your mitochondria, because that's where the magic can really happen, right? It's reorganizing those molecules so it can do that. He put that technology in a product line called UltraMito, and that stands for Ultra Mitochondria.
Rejuvenate. It's our topical cream. It's for your skin from head to toe. You put it in your hair, massage it into your scalp. It's for anything that disturbs your skin. That could be a scratch, a scrape, a cut, a bump, a mole, a blemish, anything. And we've even got testimonials in the back office about the impact it's had on serious varicose veins, on stretch marks, cellulite, even the lines on your face. And it does all the things it does because it doesn't just sit on your skin. It soaks through your skin. It soaks down to the bone. That means it helps with your ligaments, your tendons, with your muscles and your joints. It helps with your back joints, your knee joints, and your hands and feet. And listen, if you've got, or anybody you know has a condition in their hands or feet that can start as tingling and become incredibly severe, you're going to find that Rejuvenate becomes your go-to product for everything I just mentioned and more. Listen to the testimonials. They're astounding. Next, I want to talk about Restore. Restore 3.0. It's our first third-generation product. Dr. Bevan has truly created something incredible using a base of two ancient superfoods, olive oil with olive leaf and black seed. They've both been used for thousands of years because of the benefits they provide to the human condition. They found black seed when they opened King Tut's tomb. They mention olive oil in the Bible. And Dr. Bevan has taken several elements of each and uses them in a special, unique way. With olive oil, he's taken several elements and uses them to tune up and detoxify your cells while increasing your mitochondria. Now, that's the critical difference. That's the thing that's unique to us. That's our name, MoreMito, short from mitochondria. Dr. Bevan found that he understands you've been losing mitochondria all your life. You're lucky to have 50% when you're in your 50s that you had as a kid, and maybe as low as 10% in your late 60s and 70s. And he discovered when we can increase mitochondria back to the age when you were a kid, then your body starts to work the way it's supposed to, the way it used to, the way it did before life and the environment started tearing your body down. And he uses black seed to increase your energy, but it's cellular energy. It's steady. It's strong. There's no jitters. It's not like a hit of caffeine or sugar where you get a big high followed by a deep crash. Cellular energy is steady. That means you get to live life to its fullest on your terms without a need to stop and sit on the couch and watch it all pass you by. Imagine starting and completing a task without a need to rest. Imagine the clearing of brain fog. That's our subject today, the brain. Imagine something strenuous like a long bike ride that has a short recovery time. That's what happens when you've got cellular energy. And I've only mentioned 2 of the 44 ingredients Dr. Bevan has blended to create Restore 3.0. The blending is critical. Dr. Bevan will tell you that if you take a handful of vitamins, you'd be lucky if a third isn't a complete waste, overpowered and canceled out by other things in that handful of vitamins. They need to be in the right proportion, but most important, you need XDS so your body can use what you take in a way it's never been able to use anything before. Look, you don't just pour a bunch of things in a pot, stir it, and put in the bottle and call it Restore. It takes 8 weeks to create a bottle of Restore. It's like making wine. The process is critical, and the results are unbelievable. Next, I want to talk about our third product, our newest product. It's called Renew Brain and Body. Some of the ingredients we need to increase our mitochondria can't be delivered in a liquid base. Dr. Bevan created these small capsules with these dry ingredients to finish what we need to increase our mitochondria. Renew Brain and Body stands on the shoulders of Rejuvenate and Restore. It helps with blood flow in the legs, in the mind, helps with firing of the synapses in the brain, helps with eyesight, just a critical part of the triad of products to increase your mitochondria. And finally, listen, some of the most important members of our family are the pets that we own. The most viewed videos on the internet are pet videos. We love them, and they can suffer. They can suffer greatly. If you've seen a dog that's hobbled, can hardly walk up and down the stairs, you may have a cat that's hacking up fur balls, just lays around and sheds. Animals suffer from loss of mitochondria as well, and they're closer to all the things in the environment that destroy it. The chemicals we put on our rugs, the things we put on our lawn to make it grow. They're even allergic to the same things in the environment that we are. And if you want to bring a dog quickly back to puppy stage and a cat back to kitten stage, increase their mitochondria, give them pet life. So there's 4 items: Rejuvenate, Restore 3.0, Renew, Brain and Body, and Pet Life. Listen, there's nothing like what these products can do for you and the ones you love. To hear more about that, I'm going to turn the call back over to Roger. Roger, take it away.
Yeah, and I hope
Thank
y'all
you,
have your
Dale.
drinks and your
How
pens
to
and your
reboot
papers.
your brain and stop that memory loss, that brain fog. How about addictions, autism, ADHD, dementia, and grief? Okay, so Dr. Dan and I, you know him as a regular on our call out of Oklahoma City. He's been in the field for decades. Nothing has escaped his notice, not even this topic that we are talking about today. So there's some things that we need to do to maintain that supercomputer that we walk around with on our shoulders, right? Our head. About 5% of the body weight takes up about 30% of the energy. But Dr. Dan knows how to do that. Dr. Dan, go right ahead.
Yes, Roger. The first thing is a good night's sleep, which sometimes as you get older becomes hard to get. So you have to learn how what you need to do that. You know, like I wear those that mask so I block out all light over my eyes. I keep the room a little bit cool, keep it dark, and also I take melatonin, and I take 5-HTP to help me with that. Other people may find that they don't like melatonin. They may find something else. Taking chamomile tea for some people is a great thing to do before you go to bed. But getting a good night's sleep. If you don't sleep well, your memory won't be there. Next thing is exercise. Exercise is also going to help you sleep, but exercise, they find that it will increase your blood flow and help with blood pressure, and blood pressure really damages your brain. So elevated blood pressure, we have to bring under control. And we've done shows on that. There's a lot of things I can tell you about that. But I want to first mention exercise in general. You want to challenge your body. You don't have to walk for an hour and a half or anything like that. You can walk. It's a good idea when you get where you can to do that occasionally. But 20 minutes will make a difference, especially after a large meal. You want to go out and walk for 20 or 30 minutes. But when you walk, and you can do this with bicycling, you can do it with a number of different things, ways of exercising. You want to challenge your body. Yeah, if you're out walking, walk a half block as fast as you can, walk the other half, ease up. Then walk the next half block as fast as you can. Take long strides and really let your arms swing, get the blood flow going. Because when they look at Alzheimer's, they used to say it's where the plaque builds up causing Alzheimer's. But when they do autopsies on people that have Alzheimer's, they kind of know it's the circulation, where the circulation is breaking down, then the plaque starts building up. It's really a matter of keeping the circulation to the brain. And then on top of exercise, and walking is one form. I have a stationary bike that I use to get my aerobic exercises. But every 2 hours, get up, do some things. Whether you want to work on your 10,000 steps a day, walk for back and forth down your hallway for 5 or 10 minutes, that'll work fine. I do some squats and some other exercises. Get that blood flow. Sitting too long is as bad as smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, is what they say with people sitting for hours at a time. And then find things that interest you, hobbies. Take up dance, new physical activity that you're not used to, builds new neurons in the brain. So does learning new things. There's programs out there on the internet like Lumosity and these other games. Play those, work those. I was amazed at some abilities I didn't have that all of a sudden within a few weeks I did have. That my brain was processing things in a different way when I used to play those games. And crossword puzzles, Sakuda, or whatever that's called, that my cousin likes to play. Very, very good. Squeezing, having a ball or something to squeeze and hold on. You don't have to be a all-out squeeze, but it needs to be about 30%. They say the gripping or more, and that causes the blood pressure to lower. Meditation, learning how to breathe in deep, hold that, and that for a count of 4 or 5, then breathe out, breathing from the belly, keeping the brain calm. Cortisol, which comes when you're under a lot of stress and different things, eats up neurons. People that meditate, people doing breathing exercise, people that do yoga, not only live longer, they keep their memory and everything sharp. Those things are very, very important. So keeping the stress down, don't stay up too late. I know the tendency we want to watch TV or work on the computer too late. You need to try to get a good 7 hours, maybe even 8 hours sleep. And it'll make a world of difference for your brain. And then remember, 20% of the energy of the body goes through that 3-pound engine on top of your head. Inside your head is your brain. That little 3-pound organ uses 20% of your energy because the mitochondria is activating. And every time the brain is thinking, doing different things, running the systems down below the heart, the muscles and everything else, it's using energy. So one thing you can do, and we'll talk more, Roger will talk about that, but start off with MoreMito and gradually, Dr. Joy likes to say microdose. Instead of doing 4 milliliters maybe in the morning, do 2, and then a few hours later do another 2, but then do another 2, then another 2 milliliters. So you may be doing double dose or even triple dose, but building up that mitochondria, because that's what makes that brain work. That's why it's using so much energy. Yeah. So we have to do that and find new interests in your life. That you have to have a reason you like to get up in the morning, things you want to do. So take up hobbies, go to senior places and do different things. Okay, Roger, I'll give it back to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dan.
Awesome information from Dr. Dan.
Get that sleep, gotta have that exercise. So this topic, rebooting your brain. You know, our brains, I find, are a lot like our phones and our computers. They can get hung up, you know, and you just gotta reboot them. And we notice this kind of effect, but it really sits in the context of the general loss of mitochondria. You know, as I said earlier, you start out with a lot of them, 50 or 60, you're down about half of it maybe on your way to 5 or 10% later in life. So what they're doing, right? And why is that happening? It's happening because of all the stuff you get into, not just because you got older, right? You get diseases. If you had COVID, you lost a lot of mitochondria, you probably didn't get them all back. High blood pressure, diabetes, all those kinds of common diseases exhaust and kill mitochondria, alone the contaminants you can get into, even common ones like what you put on your lawn. Now, all of those are affecting your brain. Okay, let's be very clear about that. That's where that brain fog is coming from. Okay? And similarly, things that affect your vision. If things are affecting your vision, they're probably affecting your brain too. Why? Because your eyes grow out of your brain. All right, think about it. They're in proximity, have the same kind of structure, very tiny capillaries that can be easily damaged by extra blood sugar or blood pressure, right? And you can extrapolate that to everything else, your strength, your stamina, all those things get worse as you get older and you lose this mitochondria. So what we got to do is put it back. Now, we noticed that things started happening. You would think that when we put it back, for example, surely you're going to get stronger. Your skeletal muscles need that energy to do the work it's going to take to move your body and whatnot. Maybe you'll be coordinated better. But neither Bevan nor I thought or had any reason to think that we were going to see the kind of things that we've been seeing once we started regrowing people's mitochondria. And it was very gratifying to see that we weren't just affecting people physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. Especially things like addictions. We meet Josephine Galoso. She's out in California. I think she's in like Bakersfield. And first time she came on our call, she literally sounded like she was drunk. Josephine had a car accident. She was prescribed opiates. She becomes addicted. For years, she couldn't break it.
I mean, you have gotten addicted from medicine that these doctors put y'all on.
I've been trying to get updated with Josephine. Talking to you on the phone one time, you were talking about how you used to walk, how you used to talk, and all of that. All that's changed. So for people who might not have been on any of those calls, just take us back very briefly, if you would, to how debilitated you were and what kind of changes you've seen since Ted has introduced you to Restore.
In 2017, I was trying to get off the pain medications, but it wouldn't. I couldn't do it. It just I couldn't do anything. So when I got on the Restore, all of a sudden, my whole self started to be more refined. It took me 2.5 years before I could get to the Restore. I'm on the Restore now for going on 4 months, and I noticed that it totally cleaned my brain. My brain was so damaged, I thought I was going to die within 4 months. I had no control over anything. I just